The following podcast is considered for a mature audience and should only be listened to by an adult. If you're not an adult, please go and get an adult so that you can watch them as they try to awkwardly explain all of the dumb shit that we're about to say. Listener discretion is advised.
And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Ooh, welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming up on episode 101, has Japan lost its smile? Spider-Man introduced to the multiverse once again. Every dog has his day, and much, much more. I am Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by the main man in San Fran. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here, coming to you, the future home of Super Bowl 60. It is the original Waffle Box. You accept no substitutes because it is the best part of Wednesdays, and we are the People's Podcasts. Mike Fish, I cannot wait to get into episode 101, dude. What another milestone, just milestone after milestone after milestone.
Just wait till next week. 102.
Oh my God. We're just going to break our own record each week.
We're just going to keep going with those numbers. How you been, buddy? How you been? Has the last 7 days in the world of Kush Hayes been on this crazy spherical rock that we call Earth?
It's pretty good. We sat through the Ted Lasso finale.
Oh.
I think we talked a little bit about that last week, but what a great finale. What a great season. What a great series. I'm actually surprised by people were actually poo-pooing this year's season.
I haven't heard many people poo-poo anything, but there's a couple of elements of it that I poo-pooed a little bit. But overall, fantastic.
No, it's the usual nonsense the internet creates. Like, when did Ted Lasso go woke? Just stupid shit.
Episode
like that.
1, season 1.
Yes, that is the correct answer. That is the correct answer. But people are just like, it's.
Let me
dumb.
guess, it was because that player kissed his boyfriend. And
Oh no, this was all definitely...
the gay agenda.
This stuff was apparently happening since before the Amsterdam episode that both you and I went on and on and on about for about 20 minutes a few waffle boxes ago.
Work it out.
Yeah, man. Fantastic. Like I don't know what my favorite episode is. I honestly wish Apple TV would just let me buy the series as opposed to just subscribing to their app, but I guess that's gonna come sooner than later, or later than sooner. But I'm canceling Apple TV after this.
I'm sure you'll be able to download it on iTunes for like $2
It's not
an
available
episode.
right now.
I'm sure it will be, though. I'm sure.
I hope so. Fingers crossed, knock on wood.
Oh, I'm sure they still release things on DVDs and Blu-rays.
Good point. Those are harder to find more and more each day, man. Best Buy stopped selling physical media altogether last summer. I know you can actually find like Netflix series and some Amazon Prime series on DVD.
I've seen Stranger Things
Target.
box sets.
Yes, I have too. Netflix is also weird, man. Netflix, the world's biggest streamer, or at least was at one point. The home that little company that used to mail you DVDs to your doorstep. They actually have a whole collection of comedy on vinyl.
Ooh.
Like if you're one of those vinyl nuts that just popped up in the last 5 to 10 years, like you can get the last 3 Chappelle specials on vinyl. I mean, I believe most of the catalog is available, but like, yeah, the really good ones.
I did back in my younger days. I did used to like to buy compact discs of comedians. That was my.
Okay.
I had a vast selection of Bill Hicks CDs.
Ooh.
He was my favorite growing up.
Okay, nice. I was more of a Kinnison guy, but I get why you like the Hicks.
And if you listen to this, you have no idea who Bill Hicks is. Google it.
And he's been dead like 35 years, so yeah, it's not impossible.
Maybe, well, actually, Jesus, yeah, maybe. Who thought the guy that would chain smoke on stage and make jokes about smoking would end up dying of cancer?
Not Dennis Leary, not yet.
Yeah,
Not Andrew
kudos
Dice
to him.
Clay either.
Uh, but yeah, Ted Lasso, fantastic. Yeah, I did do a deep dive on the Claret and Big Blue podcast that aired on Monday. So if you want to go to youtube.com/@
Okay.
CBB Pod, I don't know, I still can't, I'd still hate that. youtube.com/@ this doesn't sound right. But yeah, at CBB Pod on YouTube. Me and Alex going through about 20 minutes. All the little Easter eggs. Like my favorite, a little spoiler alert if you want to go over to that. But my favorite Easter egg was on, I think it might be in episode 1, maybe not, of season 1, where Jamie Tarr is asked to give some money to a donation box.
Mm.
And instead he puts his gum in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's wearing a cap that says Icon.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the final episode, he's passed the team night out fund is passed round, and he stuffs it with money, and his baseball cap reads "ICOG," as if to say I'm a cog in the machine. I'm a teammate. I'm a good teammate. It's very good, very good. I did enjoy that.
I knew he was wearing the Icon gear. I did not notice the change to ICOG. That is again very clever, Ted Lasso writers. What do you think about Nate's overall arc?
Hate it.
Hated
that was one of my poo-poos.
Hated it for good, hated it for bad.
Why would you hate it for good? That's just what is that a thing?
Some people are happy that Nate got his come-ups, that Nate was humbled. Because Nate was a great villain. Like, you were rooting for him those first 2 seasons, and it's kind of heartbreaking. You're like, oh man, he's working for West Ham now? What the fuck is that about?
Well, I didn't know, because he was just like humble, shy tip man. And then all of a sudden he was like Skeletor, like, I'm evil, I'm gonna get you, Ted Lasso. And then all of a sudden he was like, oh, now I feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I found it funny that he actually is now lower than when we first met him on the totem pole. He's not even the Kit Man anymore. He's the assistant to the Kit Man. Spoilers be damned, I don't care.
That was a good Office reference as well. I did pop for that. Big pop.
Big pop.
Big pop. Yeah, but the only way that could have been a good story arc, and I know I predicted it, but I predicted it wrong, is that he should have been the new Richmond AFC manager. That would have been a good end of the story arc. But
as a man who knows nothing about football, I definitely disagree, because Roy Kent is the more experienced guy. Like, you've seen Nate fold under pressure, just crumble. Like, the dude's hair went gray within like a matter of months. Like, he's not ready to be the manager, but like, you know, I was surprised he ended up assistant to the Kit Man.
But yeah, maybe. I don't know. But we'll
I'm sure he'll work his way back up.
We'll just look out for the spin-offs.
You think that's gonna happen? Like, a lot of people are not complying with, like, this isn't the series finale. Like, the description even says season finale. And I'm just like, guys, they said they only wanted to do 3 years. Like, I mean, they can always do more, but this was lightning in a bottle. I don't know if it would even be half as good.
My prediction is going to be a spin-off centered around Rebecca and Keeley, and they're starting AFC Richmond's women's team. And so it's just going to be all women. And then you'll have the odd cameo, because obviously they're the same team, they're training in the same areas. You have the odd cameo of like Roy and all that just coming in every now and again. I think it'll be something like that. But one thing I don't think is going to happen, but one thing I do want to see is, so between seasons, you know, there's an off season where players get to have a couple of weeks off and enjoy themselves.
Sure.
How about a limited series of Roy and Jamie, since they're both single fellas, going on vacation together around Europe? Each episode is a different European city. I think that'd be fun.
I think I'd like to see what kind of trouble they just get up to in Amsterdam again. But yeah, why not? Like, Europe. Why not the entire continent?
Make it happen.
15 countries, 15 episodes, make it so.
Anyway, I forgot to start the timer, so I have no idea how long we're into this show, but I think it feels like a good time to kick it into gear. Oh, sorry. Oh my God. I feel bad now. I feel bad. Totally. See, we got enamored by talking about Ted Lasso. I totally forgot to introduce our producer who's working the keys. Lathan.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Sorry, my bad. Lathan, how the devil are you?
Michael, Kushtufer. Hope you're both doing well, but I need some advice. A few weeks ago, myself and the lady decided to do a little role play to keep the spark in our relationship.
Ooh.
I was the patient and she was the nurse. It was all going well until she said that I had smallpox and needed to go into isolation. I haven't seen her in weeks. Do you think she's trying to tell me something?
I mean, she might just be committed to the craft, bro. Yeah, honestly.
What's a
I wouldn't
method
look
actor?
to
She
be.
might be a method actor.
Yeah. Like she's like, no smallpox for me. Um, hmm.
She might be back at her place, like pretending to try to find the cure of smallpox.
Yes.
And then in like 2 weeks, she'll return and be like, da-da, I found out how to cure smallpox. I have to suck it out of your penis. And then all is well again.
What? Is that how that works?
Medical science these days, who knows?
All right. All right.
I mean, I've sort of seen a few videos where it seemed to have worked,
All right.
but I never got to the end.
This
So.
episode is gonna reinvigorate the smallpox craze because dummies will be like, "You want to fuck my dick? Come on!"
Want to get some smallpox? Get my dick sucked. Anyway, T's and P's, Lathan. I'm sure she'll come back. But if you could do your job and hit the button, because it's now time for this week's top stories.
It's now time for this week's top stories.
I love that bit of the jingle. Oh, Kush. Do you remember many, many, many years ago, there was this thing called COVID-19?
Oh boy.
Remember that? Oh, what a time to be alive.
Indeed.
But many people have obviously stressed, and there's been things about it. You know, it's been mentioned on the news a few times. There's been a price on the world community after said pandemic, right? But you know what? There's one price that people have paid that people aren't talking about enough. We're about to cover it here because you know what? As we always like to do, we like to say things so controversial yet so brave. That's what we want to do here. People in Japan apparently have been wearing face masks for so long because obviously, you know, they were like hip to the trend already. They were, if they had the sniffles, they were wearing a mask. They didn't fuck around, right?
Right.
But people in Japan apparently have been wearing face masks for so long, they have forgotten how to smile.
Oh,
Yes.
that's sad.
It is sad, but it's also very, because I was always one of these weirdos that even though I was wearing a mask, I would still do the old facial expression. Because I'm one of these, if like someone says, "Oh, excuse me, could you take our photograph, please?" And I'd be like, "Oh, yes," because I live around New York City. A lot of tourists, so I'm often being, "Oh, could you take our photograph, please?" And like, "Oh, good job you asked me because someone else would have run off with this camera." But yeah, whatever. But so, and I'm standing there, I'm about to take their picture, and they're smiling. I'm one of those weirdos that even though I'm taking the picture, I'm not in the picture. I'm standing behind the camera. I'm smiling. I can't help it. So I was still smiling. Like I just love the thought of people wearing masks. Going, "Oh, thank God, I don't smile anymore," and just walking around solemn and stoic constantly. But yes, but help is at hand, Kush. Never fear, because one smart person has created the Smile Education System. Yes. So anyway, as the story reads, So, as the government in Japan lifted its recommendations to wear face masks, a young person, Himawari Yoshida, was among those who realized they had forgotten how to go about life without them. Quote, I hadn't used my facial muscles much during COVID. How did she eat?
Yeah, right. Good
She has now hired the services of a smile instructor, saying it's good exercise and will help her prepare to enter Japan's job market.
What in the
Miss
world?
Yoshida and her classmates, there's more than one, mostly young people, shocked, are being taught by Kiko Kawano, who in one exercise has them hold up mirrors to their faces, stretching the sides of their mouths with their fingers. Hey, am I smiling yet? Is this what a smile looks like? So the company Iga Aoiku, I'm not very good at my Japanese pronunciations, which literally translates to smile education, has seen a fourfold increase in demand for lessons. So this was a thing before. People, Jesus Christ. Guess how much?
Oh, now is this going to be in dollars or in yen?
I have to price in both.
Oh, fascinating.
So
Okay.
how much is a one-on-one session with the smile instructor? Teach you how to smile. There we go.
Gonna guess it's less than an hour. Obviously you need to do more than one session, but I'm gonna guess like $150 a session.
Oh, you have shot over.
Oh, all right. Okay. That's a good thing, I guess.
That is a good thing, I guess. Yeah. So one-on-one sessions cost 7,700 yen or $55.
Oh wow, shot way over. Okay. Yeah.
So the instructor, Miss Kawano, said, I think there's a growing need for people to smile. She said, noting the growing return of tourists to the island. The tourists are coming. Everyone look happy. Otherwise they won't come back.
Yeah, geez. Japan needs more comedies, more wacky, zany comedies where like two friends are on a mission to get like some really great Nissan and ramen, and on the way they like someone spikes one of their drinks with I don't know whatever, and then they go on this drug fueled rampage, and there's a fat guy with his shirt off, and there's insert some titties every 15 minutes. Like,
nothing wrong with titties.
Nothing wrong with titties ever. Japan would appreciate some titties. But yeah, man, like wow, what
they'd be blurred out though all the time.
That's pubic hair. You can show titties. Yeah, it's not even genitalia. It's for some reason it's the bush.
If you have no idea what we're talking about, go to Pornhub and type in Japanese. It's all blurred. I don't get it. But if I wanted to use my imagination, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
But yeah, so there you go. For $55, you can learn how to. I'm still getting over the fact that she hadn't used her facial muscles during the whole entire. It's just like smushing food into her mouth.
Well, again, it's a lot of noodles. It's a lot of rice. It's just.
That's surely that's some good use of muscles. That.
Maybe.
Well, she's 20 years old. Maybe she's just stupid.
Oh, that's probably for the best bet. Yeah.
There you go. Now, next story is an interesting one. So, they say if you play too many video games, your brain will turn to mush and you won't amount to anything because all you'll be doing is sitting in darkened basement playing pew video games and you won't amount to anything. Well, one man, Mr. David Joseph D'Alessandro, I do feel there's a rolled R in there somewhere. David Joseph D'Alessandro.
Sandro.
25 years old. He thought, you know what, I've been playing video games for a long time. I'm going to put my skills to use. So what he did was he robbed a convenience store using his Nintendo Duck Hunt gun.
Okay.
And you know what's more bizarre than a man rolling up to a convenience store with a Nintendo accessory as his weapon to hold up the person behind the counter? It worked. He walked out $300 richer.
Oh, all right. Did they? I'm guessing they caught him still though.
Then yeah, unless he just went to Facebook. Guess what I fucking did? But yes,
Not impossible.
unfortunately, yeah,
Also a possibility.
a TikTok video.
Oh,
You won't believe what I just did with a Nintendo gun. Watch.
make sure to stay to the end.
Yeah, I fucking hate that bit. I fucking hate that bit. Watch to the. I'm gonna fucking turn it off now. Just
Yeah.
you can't tell me
I'm
what to do.
finding
TikTok.
myself doing that.
You're not my dad.
The few times I have fallen for wait for the end, like either nothing happens whatsoever, or it's like the video cuts off because the end takes too goddamn long to get to.
Ugh, fucking hate it. Anyway, so David was detained following the incident at a quick stop near Sharon, South Carolina, at around
Sounds like you did this
5:45
a couple times.
last Tuesday. The person, David, demanded cash, showing the cashier a gun in his waistband, which turned out to be a spray-painted Nintendo Duck Hunt game pistol.
Okay, so that's
According
gonna be
to
my
your
next
account.
question. Is it just the gray? No, he spray painted the fucking thing.
He spray-painted, but still.
It sounds like he only kept it in his waist too, so like he never like pulled it out. And somebody was like, dude, that's a Nintendo Duck Hunt controller. What are you doing?
Like even if like he pushed it deep down into his, so you all you could see is the handle. Because I guess maybe people could or they see a gun handle. Oh.
Yeah.
However, for those of you that are younger, I guess younger than mid-20s, maybe they wouldn't know really. They wouldn't have held a Nintendo.
They've seen enough YouTube tutorials on like, check out the wacky thing Nintendo did in 1987.
Those fucking things were massive.
Yeah, but they're the size of a gun.
So
actually,
like even if you pushed, like he would have looked like, hey, look at this gun. I'm gonna hold you up, but also apparently I'm incredibly aroused because I have this. Very, like it's a gun from the 1930s or something. That you'd be like.
The only thing I can see that the cashier would like not fall for it is again the nub on the base of the handle. Like there's a cord coming from it. Now everything is Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, but like he would have snapped that.
I would like to think so.
Pliers, but there still would have been a small. Yeah, what if he just had the cord there still?
The cord staying out,
dangling down his left leg. No, but at this point, like the guy's probably said motherfucker or two at a time and like demanded $300, and then just you just have to show the handle. That was all. The money's insured. This thing gets robbed 5 times a week. There's a protocol for this, and they followed it.
What else? Imagine. I was thinking about all the other accessories you could have used.
Word on the street is that he broke out of jail by punching a hole in the wall with his power glove.
There you go.
They would have confiscated his power glove, but I like where you're going with this, Latham.
I was going to go with it because didn't they also release like a bazooka
for the Super Nintendo, which made no goddamn sense even at the age of like 12. Like, no, we had a handgun. This is clearly like an over-the-shoulder rocket launcher. Like this isn't this aesthetically. This is not easy to like. You just go pow pow. Like this is your control. Your controller's up here. Pow pow pow.
This is very limited my game choice.
Yeah, the fucking the Super Nintendo scope. That was it. The Super Scope. did not move many units.
Do you remember also the roller pad?
Yeah,
It was like it had the ball on it, and you had to balance on it, and you would control the. Oh,
I remember it existed. I've seen an angry video game nerd episode about it, but that was one of those things where we're like, yeah, I don't want that. I always wanted the U Force, which is pretty much like your laptop set up here. So, but when you're playing Punch Out, you go
Oh
ah,
yeah.
Same YouTube channel, Angry Video Game Nerd. It's not that it's all cracked up to be.
Check that out. Angry Video Game Nerd. Highly recommend. He seemed to do all right for himself. Apparently,
It's amazing going through YouTube and then just a random tile will show up and they'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that video 15 years ago. What the fuck are you talking about?
and you go into it, it's like 4:3 ratio and grainy as fuck. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost weird though. I think that was almost like looking at it as part of the charm. Now, whenever I look back at his or look at his more recent videos, and they're all like 4K, and I was like, it's not my Angry Video Game Nerd. Boo.
I don't have the problem with the 4K, but he gets too deep into the bit now. Which I mean, there's a bit. He has to do a bit, but you know, sometimes it's just cool to him to review a game as James.
I mean, it should just change with the times, and he should be like the curmudgeon video game nerd.
I mean, you could classify him as a curmudgeon. I think even your kind, Mike Fish, would call him a geezer now, but I'm not sure what the specific boundary definitions of geezer are. But yeah, my man is he's got a 6 head now. He doesn't have a 4 head. He's got a 6 head.
Well, it happens to us all.
Happens to us all. Oh my god, you got a 7 head.
Mm-hmm. Bigger the better. Yeah. Last top story of the week. This headline, or the first line, this made me go, I think so, right? What would you say, right? Kush Hayes? What would you say is a taboo? Like, don't give me an example of a taboo subject, but what would you say is what does it mean to be a taboo subject?
Something that's unapproving.
Right? Like you say something and people go, what the fuck is he? Whoa, I can't believe he said that. That's so taboo, right?
Smoking a cigarette today is taboo. It's been taboo for 30 years now, but still.
Well, don't tell me what to do. Anyway.
Keep smoking, Mike. No, I encourage you to keep smoking.
Oh my god, did you see that Waffle Box podcast? It's encouraging people to smoke. But yeah, so a funeral firm over in the old United Kingdom, hello, Governor, is hoping to, quote, break the taboo of talking about death.
Oh.
Now, don't get me right, I can understand.
This is a funeral home?
It is, yeah, it's a funeral firm. Funeral home. But I can understand people are, I guess, I don't want to talk about their death because, they're like concerned about their own immortality and all that bullshit. But I don't think is it a taboo? Like you talk about it's someone, don't mention the table. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, unfortunately, funeral homes are all you have to talk about death at the funeral home. Like someone's dead and now we need to memorialize them and then bury them, and that's what you guys do. So yeah, we got to talk about death.
Let's talk about death, baby.
Ooh, very gothic.
Maybe they should do that. That could be their commercial on TV. Let's talk about death, baby. Let's talk about the old lady who's not breathing anymore. We'll put her in the floor. Let's talk about death.
We gotta. There's some edges that need polishing, but you have something here, Mike Fish.
It's work in progress. It's work in progress.
Yeah. It's a good work in progress, though.
But they're not talking about jingles. They're not talking jingles. Guess how they are trying to fight taboo of death.
How are they trying to fight?
That's a good guess. They are offering. And no one's buzzing in still.
Meanwhile, just a corpse there, just like just propped up.
from that movie. What the fuck is
Weekend at Bernie's?
Weekend at Bernie's? It's just,
yeah, but no, he's got they even propped him up so he's holding the controller, and then just go like, just sees Kush Hayes, blah 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 blah.
Your thumbs up came up on the Zoom screen as soon as you did that. That's funny. But no, I just imagine this game show, and after the 30 minutes, oh, can you believe it? Our 17th 0-0 of the series.
The real twist and the real shock will be when one of those cadavers actually chimes in. Melon toast. I don't know what melon toast is, but this guy's dead anyways.
Refreshing. That's what it sounds like. But no, this funeral home in the UK is hoping to break the taboo of talking about death by offering custom-made coffins in quirky styles.
Okay, not new, but okay.
So these designs include a Greg's sausage roll, which it's a sausage roll made by a company called Greg's, just for our American listeners.
Sounds about right. Seems
and
legit.
Other designs include Doctor Who's TARDIS.
Okay. If you were a Doctor Who fan and had money to burn, yeah, I could see that being fun.
Well, I'd hope if you wasn't a Doctor Who fan, you'd be pissed off to be putting a
be
TARDIS.
Weird, right? It would be weird.
Other designs include a pint of lager, a bottle of whiskey. There's also Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead. That'd be a good one.
Oh. Wow, that's so untasteful.
Harry Potter,
Walking Dead.
And all those other designs. The firm is called Go As You Please, and say that no ideas are off limits to help make a difficult day a little lighter.
So custom coffins aren't anything new. I've seen Kiss branded coffins, Kiss the band coffins. I've seen Juggalo coffins for a wee tiny baby, which was like double depressing.
Juggalo.
Sorry, ICP.
I thought Gigolo. That's a completely different thing.
Perfectly understandable, perfectly rational. I've seen pimps buried in caskets that look like a Cadillac. All online and memes and whatever, but that fucking thing happened and someone photographed it. Yeah.
How could you imagine a juggalo just turn up your house dressed as like an insane clown posse member?
So, but he's got the suit and tie on. He's dressed to the nines. He's got the fancy fucking watch on, but then just grease paint.
Yeah.
And he's like, family.
Come on then, guys. What design would you choose for your caskets?
Do you know, it's not a quirky design. Because I guess if I had to pick a quirky design, just to be out of irony, because I'm pretty sure, spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure cigarettes are going to play some part of my death. Maybe not all of it, but sure. So maybe just buried in a pack of Marlboros or something. But
okay.
One thing I have, because I'm gonna be cremated, right? I'm gonna be cremated. That's gonna be definitely a thing, because I believe, if I said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I believe that whoever's president needs to write into law that all dead bodies need to be cremated, because this is how we're gonna stop the zombie apocalypse from happening, right? But I want to be put in a coffin, right? And then on the front of the coffin is gonna be like a little TV screen. And on that TV screen, because obviously I'm going to record this before I die, but I just want to have a looping video of me just going.
Okay, you could do that.
Let me help.
I have also heard of caskets with flat screen monitors in there, so the deceased have something to watch while they're being buried.
Well, just in case they've been buried alive. Oh, I'm going to die pretty quickly because of no oxygen, but I can watch Succession. Sweet.
I can watch The Office. Oh, boy. Yeah. No, Mike Fish, I hope your casket, again, going on the cigarette box model, so like you would open it from the top here, and then you'd be like cigarette number 12 or number 10. Like you're not in the front row. You're definitely not in the back row, but you're right there in the middle, and your head just pops out like.
Or just on the video
Or
screen idea, right? Maybe I would just be
going back to the video screen.
yeah, going back to video. So I could be like the video, no, but my second idea would be like this. So I'm in on the video screen, you could see me like this, and then it's this. We're talking about technology because I'd like to think I've got at least 50, 60 years to go, right? So by then, there's like sensors on there, it's like motion detectors, right?
Oh.
So I'm laying it on this, and then if someone walks past the caskets, go, "What are you looking at?"
Okay, yeah, I'm
Scared of shit.
1000% sure someone could set that up. Honestly, like it's your eyes are closed, and so that's just the still image, and it's always the still image. But then someone walks by, and immediately you do the jump scare gimmick at them. Yeah, man. No, I'm all the way in on this.
Or if I ever do an open casket, some do the open casket viewing, so you can see the deceased one more time. Have like a little speaker next to my bottom, and every time someone walks up, it goes.
From what I understand, the human body will still release exhaust pretty regularly for a few days, so you might be farting in the casket naturally.
Or speaker in my mouth, and so when someone comes up and to pay their last respects, like, "Oh, Michael, he was taken to. I always loved you," and then it's just, I thought you was a cunt. Oh, no. I just pre-record a bunch of insults,
like a plush doll with the button in the back. Like comes with 12 pre-programmed responses.
There's a snake in my boots.
There's a snake in my boots. I don't know why you're a cadaver. I don't know why you're moving. Yeah.
Anyway, wonderful stuff. So so what design did you go for?
Oh, I once upon a time wanted to be preserved like Lenin and displayed in front of my son's living room.
Specifics?
Glass casket, lots of formaldehyde, obviously, but I'm just there. Maybe I'm doing this shit. I don't know where my hands are doing, but yeah, just propped up in the corner.
What to do with my hands?
Just propped up in the corner, staring off into nothing. You better dust me every now and then, but there's no sun to do this, so I'll probably just cream by myself.
You can do it yourself?
No, I mean, no one else is gonna do it. Why wouldn't I?
Well, you'd be dead.
The final moments before my death, I will be soaked in gasoline.
Jump into
I'll light a fire,
and then lean up against the wall. So when you do, like, you just fall into it.
Yeah, why not? That's a plan.
Or
maybe I'm in a wheelchair, and then someone has to just like scoop me in there. It's on wheels. They can finally do that,
Or again, we're talking technology here, and I can't believe how much fun this story has created. But in technology, so let's say, oh my god, I can feel it. The life is leaving my body. I need to get into my special chair. And you sit down in your chair, and then you hook yourself up to it so it can feel your heartbeat, right? And then as it's
okay.
So as soon as you flatline, it catapults you into the big fire.
Okay.
Like Evel Knievel, like shoots you out of a cannon.
Yeah. So some Monty Python shit. Not my favorite, but I'm still feeling it. I'm still feeling it. Like this isn't a bad idea. I just don't know if it's top 5. But yeah,
hey, I'm Kush Hayes. I'm about to die. Welcome to Jackass.
We go back to the pre-program, taking the whole EKG monitor thing, and taking the pre-recorded voice message. So once I flatline, like, Kush Hayes, what's good, y'all? and then I'm
Or just-
catapulted into the great beyond.
Or just if you've got like because everyone's got that neighbor who's a bit of an asshole.
Yes, I have several.
Point yourself, and so as soon as you die, you just get shot through their front window.
Oh, okay. You know, that might have just shot to the top, dude. Yeah, I know exactly whose door I'd want to be shot through. And then be like, your problem now, bitch.
And then with just tie a note, I hated you to death.
Ooh, petty. But, you know, once you're dead, it's the appropriate amount of petty. It's like one final fuck you from beyond the grave.
And ideally, they're super religious because then it's like, wait, now I'm in here. I'm never leaving. I'm haunting you now, bitch.
This is for all the times you shit your dog on my lawn and didn't pick up.
You shit the dog?
Shit the dog on my lawn.
The dog shit on the lawn.
I said what I said.
Pick up the dog shit. Anyway, there you go. So yeah, send us your best Death Day ideas to @WaffleboxPod #Death Day ideas. Why not?
Ooh.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about some people that are achieving things with their lives.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's talk about this week's Dumb World Record of the week.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
And also shout out, because I can't remember exactly which episode we introduced that jingle, but the fact that we haven't had a single copyright strike off of that, I'm impressed.
That was the thing I brought up too. I was like, I don't know, Mike. This might give us some. And you're like, yeah, let's just do it anyways. And I was like,
Fuck
okay.
it.
Worst thing that could happen is they say don't do that, and they have not.
But yeah, it's not like any of our content's monetized yet, so what are you going to do?
Mm.
You're going to take away our 0 cents? Fuck you. Anyway, this week's Dumb World Record comes to us again from England. Oh, it's a very England-centric episode.
Where's my tea and my proper pinky?
So a British engineer has unofficially, so this is like breaking news, like he hasn't officially got it back yet from the Guinness World Records, but
Okay.
he has technically broke the Guinness World Record for fastest trash can. Yes.
Wait, just fastest trash can? What does that mean?
Well, so here we go, right? So what he had done, so he bought a wheelie bin.
Okay.
You know, a wheelie trash can.
Wheelbarrow.
Yep,
Okay, good. Yes.
He bought
Yes.
this from Facebook Marketplace for around $25 and then proceeded to make nearly $900 worth of modifications to said trash can, including a Suzuki GP125 two-stroke engine, magnesium go-kart wheels, a rear axle, a 5 gearbox, a chassis. Surely the bin is the chassis. A steering damper, and an extra wheel at the front. So yeah, he basically turned his wheelie bin into a go-kart.
Okay, so I'm guessing that the wheelie bin isn't standing upright; it's on its side.
No, it's still on its regular axis.
Fascinating.
And he took his motorized trash can up to 55 miles per hour.
It's pretty impressive.
But
dangerous, very impressive though.
Yeah, but when I always when you're reading off of all, so this trash can,
I'm still having a hard time visualizing everything. But 55.
I'll send you the link. There's a video. If I remember, I'll put it in the description on the YouTube video. But when you add a Suzuki engine go-kart wheels, an extra axle, a gearbox, some extra chassis,
Yeah.
steering, and an extra. I never thought I'd ever ask this very deep question, but at what point does a wheelie bin not become a wheelie bin?
I mean, from what I'm visualizing here, the wheelie bin is still here, but now there's extra stuff protruding out of it because you can't just stack all that shit on top of each other. And then the axle, and I mean, I'm no engineer. I don't know shit about cars, but yeah, I'm very intrigued by this. And again, dangerous but impressive because there's no roll cage in this from what you've described. Like this guy gets hit by another car. This guy hits another car. It's game over.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to be the one that dies in that situation.
Yes.
Fun coffin idea.
Oh,
Motorized trash can.
motorized coffin. That sucker just you're in the coffin, but your brother-in-law has the radio control.
Control,
and
yeah.
Like, who wants to take Mike to the pack and save? We're gonna get some 3-liter Sprites of Shasta.
Put some seats on top.
Gotta at least have one.
Instead of a hearse, just like, come on, family, jump on the casket. We're going to the funeral.
No. The family is still in the limos, okay? But someone in the limo is leading the whole parade with the remote control casket. Like,
And they
cut out
better
the
be dressed as a cowboy, damn it.
Why does the guy be dressed like a cowboy? He's not riding the casket. He's in the
He
limo.
is. In my dream, he is.
Okay. Oh, that's your dream. Okay.
He's right. Like, I've got like a, the horse seat and everything. I want this full.
Saddle? Fascinating.
Yeah, I want John Wayne motherfucker on riding on the casket.
Okay.
With
Now,
a
is your
lasso.
casket? Are you going head first or are you toe first when we're driving this casket?
Gotta live life head first, baby.
Okay. Yeah. Okay then. Is it a closed casket or an open casket while we drive? Heaven forbid a bird shit on you while we're at a stoplight.
Yeah, because then that's definitely not good luck. I'm already dead. Well, no, I mean, if it's an open casket, then it's gonna then get off, cowboy. Let me just imagine that just going down the street. It's this dead body hanging out. We're obsessed with this story now.
It's actually it's a fun story. I bet we come back to it a third time.
I'm sure we will. But there, I guess. Michael Woolhead, 31.
Wow, what a name!
Congratulations, Michael. So you remember, like back in the day, they always said like the surname. Always like
Tom Baker was a baker.
Like Fisher worked in the fish trade. Blah blah blah. So Michael Warhead, what did your ancestors do? My ancestors like to headbutt wolves a lot. That's what they did. They got paid for that.
It might be one thing. Do you remember
Hey, give me 5 sixpence, I'll headbutt this wolf. Come on, then.
Do you remember the comic book character Annie? She had a movie and she's got a stage play and all that. Little redheaded girl with weird cataracts.
The lesser known Marvel superhero.
The lessest known Marvel superhero. She was an orphan, little orphan Annie, and she was adopted by a man named Daddy Warbucks. That's Warbucks. Means he made all of his money selling ammunition and arms during the war. So like I didn't figure that out till like 15 years ago. I'm like, oh shit, this guy was a warmonger. Oh my god.
What would be a worse, like, what would be a really awkward surname?
Oh. Daniel Cuntbreath.
Oh. Hello, my name's Melissa Cockthroat. How are you?
Pleased to meet you, Melissa. I know we just met, but what are you doing tomorrow?
So, how did you get the name Throat Hug? Oh, well, my great-great-great-grandmother. Yeah, I know what she did. I'm sure she was damn good at it. Anyway, that wraps up a pretty energetic first half of this week's Waffle Box, episode 101. Still to come, we're talking about Spider-Man adventuring into the multiverse once again. We got the trapdoor and the feel-good story, and I'm sure at some point we will shoehorn more coffin talk. So make sure you don't go away, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Hey, mister, can I trade in this 7-Up for a Sprite?
Gee, I don't know. Something the matter?
Yeah, Sprite tastes better than 7-Up.
Come on.
Really, Sprite even beat 7-Up in a taste test.
I always thought they were the same.
No, Sprite's the one with the lemon, and more people chose that great lemon taste. Here, try it.
Kid, you just made a sale.
It's now time for the middle of the show quiz.
Hey, welcome back to Waffle Box episode 101. Still to come. Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse is this week's movie review, feel-good story, and all that good stuff. But it is the middle of the show, so it's not quite frankly, it's perfect time for the middle of the show quiz. If you've never heard this before, middle of the show quiz is when I take 5 questions and quiz Kush. Obviously, the name of the game is to get at least 3 out of 5. If not 5 out of 5 for the clean sweep. And once again, this week's quiz is birthday themed. And congratulations, this week's birthday boy is Mrs. Foley's baby boy, Mick Foley. Now, any guesses how old Mick Foley is today? Just judging by his face.
58.
Fuck you. It's 58 today.
Oh. Well,
anyway, the point is he looks terrible for his age. God bless him.
Really? I think he looks great for 58, considering all the damage he's done to himself. He might be still missing some teeth and he's fat, but whatever, dude. Like, he should... Yeah, he should look like Terry Funk, or should even look like Bobby Heenan 5 years ago.
R.I.P. Bobby Heenan.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, we've got 5 questions about Mr. Foley.
Okay.
So hopefully, Mr. Wrestling Hall of Famer, it should be quite easy for you.
Yep.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do question number 1. So Mick Foley in his career was often known and famous for being from Long Island because he would often regale stories of how he would go to Madison Square Garden, see Jimmy Fire, super snooker bastard
Jimmy
murderer,
Snuka.
jump off a cage. Now, from which state was Mick Foley actually born? Ooh.
Oh. I mean, I want to say New York, but it's probably going to be something stupid like New England or New Jersey. I'm going to just say New Jersey.
How dare you say New Jersey's stupid?
The obvious answer would have been New York, but...
Indiana.
Oh, no shit.
Indiana. But yes, his family did move to Long Island early on in his lifetime.
Strong Island?
Now, this one's going to be a nice, easy one. Let's try to get you warmed up. Nice, easy one.
Yeah.
Name the 3 faces of Mr. Foley.
So, you got Cactus Jack, you got Mankind, and then you got Dude Love.
Let's go.
And then, of course, he also wrestles sometimes now as Mick Foley. I guess he doesn't wrestle anymore, but like he technically had 4 faces.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's when you knew he was like, Mick Foley.
Yeah. I wasn't even watching the Attitude Era at the time, but people, like, much like football, would just tell me about it, whether I wanted to hear it or not. And the first time I heard that Dude Love was a thing, I went, "The fuck did you just say to me?" Like,
Dude Love was pretty fun.
yeah, I'm sure he was.
That was-
But when
that
you
was-
don't understand the context of it, it's like, "Are you hitting on me, motherfucker? At work? Oh, I'm gonna..."
That was one of the best moments that I remember. It was at Madison Square Garden. It was supposed to be Dude Love versus Triple H in a street fight. And Dude Love was like, "I can't be in a street fight. That's not my bag, baby. But I know a man who can." And then his name is Cactus Jack. And then everyone went nuts. And he came out and bit the shit out of Triple H. Fun times. Question number 3.
Number 3, before we get off track.
What is the name of Mick Foley's youngest son that ECW fans wish to cane?
Oh, jeez. I'm not up on my ECW stuff. So
Yes,
I'm going to say...
There was chance of Kane, this guy, and Signs and Mick Foley would often speak later in the fact that Harry's legitimately upset and pissed off that they would do that.
God. I know he's got a daughter that is active now, and I don't know her name, but her whole gimmick is Mrs. Foley's baby's boy's baby girl. But I still don't know what her fucking name is. But I'm gonna say this dude's name was Jacob. Jacob Foley.
Think of, right, I'll give you a clue, just for funsies.
Please.
Do you remember DuckTales?
Woo woo.
Was it DuckTales?
Dewey.
Dewey!
Right. Dewey. There's a whole scene in Beyond the Mat where Mick Foley is introducing Dewey to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and he's like, "Oh, hey, my name is Dewey also." And you're like, "Oh,
that was Dwayne Johnson's nickname."
Yeah, that was what his family called him growing up. Boy, I am not doing well considering that I got Mick Foley's birthday correct. Like, he could be 64 right now. I wouldn't know.
Question number 4. Mick Foley is a multi-time New York bestseller.
That's right.
What was the first book of his to make said list?
Oh, Jesus. Something, for the love of mankind.
No, I think that was a later one.
That's an actual title. All right.
I think there was a book called that. Come on, just to make it a little bit more fun. What was his catchphrase later on in his career?
Oh, have a nice day.
Yay. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
That was genius. Like, it was like, he said it, so he was like, "I'm gonna kill you. Have a nice day." All right, question number 5. All comes down to this.
Tiebreaker. This is the tiebreaker.
Before debuting as Mankind in the WWF, what was the original name for the character?
Oh, hell if I know. Was it just Kane? Was he supposed to be Kane?
No.
No, I don't. I have no idea.
You're not even gonna try?
Nope. Cactus John.
You lose.
It was Mason the Mutilator.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they didn't go with that name, and they went with Mankind. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
Mason the Mutilator. All right, who are you?
There's also on the drawings when they were like, there was also like his nickname was like Headcase, so I would have accepted that. But
is this all like in the A&E biography that I keep seeing on my YouTube feed?
I'm
now?
sure it was. There's been many documentaries featuring Mick Foley, so I'm
dig it.
But yes, it's like what was Stone Cold Steve Austin when
he
they
was
were
the
like,
ringmaster?
He was ringmaster, but then they suggested, was it Chili McFreeze?
they had a bunch of weather-related puns for him, and he was like, "This is stupid."
Something Von Dagger, or the Ice Von Dagger, or something as well. It was like some terrible ones. And as the old story goes, thankfully, and again, kicking with the theme, the British theme of tonight's show. Thankfully, Steve Austin at the time was married to a British woman. And while he was screwing over, like, oh, what's my name going to be? She said, Steve, you better drink your tea before it gets stone cold.
What'd you just say?
What?
What'd you just say?
And then there was other. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that relationship with Steve Austin. Because even though he is old now, I'm pretty sure he could still kill me with his little finger. Anyway, it's now time for this week's Trapdoor a segment.
I'm still there. Bug, stretch that out. Stretch that out.
Oh, this. See, what would make it a lot easier for me, the little behind the scenes, how the sausage is made, because on Zoom, because we record this on Zoom, and then I make it look all fancy with these graphics around, right? If we could, because you can have, right, a timer on Zoom.
Okay. But
one, it starts as soon as you start the Zoom. So I'd still have to end up writing down, oh, this is the time we started recording, and then also I don't know if it's going to show up on the recording. I'm going to have to edit the
we can do a test run one day, but this is another thing you should probably edit out.
No, they love it. They love hearing about this bullshit.
Don't.
That's
dumb. Alex, winner of last week's episode 100, the $100 Amazon gift card. Do you like all this behind the scenes stuff? Let us know on the Twitters.
Enjoy Waffle Box website at Waffle Box Pod. Hashtag. Do you really like it? Is it wicked? We're loving it.
Do you believe in love?
Do you believe in love? Anyway, so this week's Trapdoor segment, still working on the date night ideas, although, you know what? I think I'm going to need to really find a better idea. This is because these are all terrible. I'll be honest.
They're usually pretty bad.
This is going to be a stretch. So maybe next week we'll come up with something else we can do for the Trapdoor. But what I do, I issue Kush Hayes 4 suggestions, 4 things, 4 ideas. And Kush has to work way through each one, decide which one gets sent down the trapdoor out of existence so no one can make that poor mistake again. So we're doing date night ideas. And again, just to clarify, this has to be date 1, 2, or 3. Still the getting to know you phase. You know, this can't be, well, we've been together 10 years, so don't give a shit. As long as we're getting out of the house, away from the kids, fucking hell. Has to be early doors. Mm-hmm. So, your 4 suggestions this week, and we are on the letter J, or as the French say, J. Option number 1 is a jazz concert.
Nice.
It goes downhill from here. Number 2, Jenga.
Not bad.
Number 3, juggling lesson. Or number 4, jewelry making classes. So there's 4 options again: jazz concert, juggling lesson, Jenga, jewelry making classes. Which one of those, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be hard to pick one, which one of those is a horrible idea and should never be taken again?
So the jewelry class is not a good idea. However, ladies, if your guy on dates 1, 2, or 3 does say like, hey, let's go do some jewelry making, you might see where this is going down the line, and I wouldn't. Look, I know everyone's open-minded today, but seriously, you don't want your guy dressing fancier than you. Ladies, you want to be front and center. You don't want your guy overshadowing you with his flashy jewelry. All right. That's all we're gonna say about that.
That jewelry making closet, do you reckon they're gonna be like making fancy jewelry?
With a
Or
good
do you think you could
imagination,
be
sure.
sticking like some macaroni things on a string?
I'm
Look, I made a friendship bracelet.
I'm not expecting us to work with like rubies and sapphires, but at least the plastic or glass jewelry that does resemble it. But no, not macaroni salad or anything like that. No, sir. Not grass and not dried up leaves from the autumn. No, sir. However, moving forward, Jenga. Jenga's fun. That's a good first, second, third date.
I think it's a great one.
Out. You're building this up. And you get to know each other. You get a little competitive edge. By the way, guys, throw the fucking game if you want to go.
No,
if you want to kiss
no.
at the end of the night.
So here's my. I know this is supposed to be your thing, right? And I don't want to try to sway you in any way. However, I think if you're playing Jenga during the early phases of, again, date 1, date 2, date 3, destroy them if you can.
Show dominance.
And here's why. No, well, maybe because maybe she's into that kind of thing, but also you want to find out what kind of person they are, because if they get really angry when they lose at a game of Jenga, that's a red.
Red flag. Sorry.
Because if she gets that pissed off at losing a game of Jenga, imagine what she's gonna be like if you get home like 5 minutes late down the line, or she finds out that there's a woman working at the bar you go to. Like, I think this is a good training exercise, quite frankly.
Well, we're definitely saying
training.
Jenga's a good date. The Jenga's a good date,
and it's good.
Jenga's jazz concert again. You're experiencing culture, music, art. You guys are sipping fancy wines, and you've got your best turtleneck on, Mike Fish, with your favoriteest Star of David. I don't know why you're wearing a Star of David, but that's what you're wearing that night, buddy. And you look fantastic.
Did I tell you? Sorry, did I tell you about the woman who asked if I was Jewish?
No,
I didn't.
How'd that go? If you did, I forgot. But tell us again.
So I was at the mall, and I'm sure.
Oh, right, yeah.
The woman was handing out samples, and she was very insistent that I was Jewish. That was very awkward. So maybe then, hey, fuck it, I'll just put a star. Okay, well, this woman, she thought, so maybe I am. So give me the Star, David. Maybe I should wear it.
Yourself a very sweet gold Star of David, right?
Get like a Star of David pendant, like a necklace.
Yes.
And then walk past the same woman. And then if she goes, I thought you weren't Jewish. I'm not. What are you talking about?
Why do I have to be
being
Jewish?
Weird?
This just looks good on me. I can't help that. Fuck you.
Big fan of stars. Anyway.
So that brings us to juggling lessons. What the fuck are you thinking, dude? No juggling lessons. No, we're not bringing acrobatics into this. We're not bringing the circus into this.
I want to know if she can handle some balls.
Damn. I was expecting bowling pins, but sure. All the above, man. Yeah. Juggling lessons. That's a little advanced, but why not knives?
Why would you start with the bowling ball? Surely you're starting off all the
They've got some weight to them, like we're not going super high in the air, so you get conked on the head with one. But like, just can you just do that? By the way, I cannot. However, juggling lessons is the best way to not get a second, third, or fourth date, if you ever do that, guys. So juggling lessons.
That's dumb.
Well done, Mix. Well done, Mix there.
Thanks. That's the greatest jingle I've ever made. I'm so
I like
proud
it.
of that.
I think that's going to have a long life here on the Waffle Box podcast.
Even if
the original Waffle Box podcast, you accept no substitutions, because it is the best part of Wednesdays.
and it's the People's Podcast.
Goddamn right.
So there you go. Thankfully, juggling lessons are never going to come back. You're welcome, America.
They shouldn't.
And the rest of the world. So sure.
Although, how crazy would it be if you took this chick to juggling lessons and she just takes to it like a duck to water? She's like, I can do it all. Like, this is the best day. Like, how do you process that, Mike Fish?
I'll be like, well, I've wasted money on the lessons since you already know how to juggle, apparently. Dinner's on you, bitch.
Oh, twist. Also, I like your assertiveness and your,
you know what I mean?
Your alpha maleness by dropping that bitch. Just bitch. Like, it's all how
no alpha male.
You know, exclamation point. Pow.
Right. What's after beta males?
Omega males.
Oh, I like that.
Although I don't know if they're lesser than betas, because omega is a whole different level. But yeah, beta. You don't want to be a beta male.
What's Greek alphabet? What's the what order did it go?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
gamma. So it's alpha, beta, gamma.
Yeah, I don't think you want to be a gamma dude.
Well, I don't know. It sounds like I'm some kind of superhero.
Definitely sounds like you're interstellar.
I'm a gamma male.
Like you're from another dimension, or at least from the cosmos.
I'm from the gamma dimension, where we eat tofu and drink non-alcoholic wine.
Ew. You mean grape juice?
Can't lift hammers. For Planet Gamma.
You mean grape juice? Non-alcoholic wine?
It's a fucking Capri Sun. No, it's
non-alcoholic wine. Could be some purple Kool-Aid. Doesn't matter.
Oh, I got food poisoning over the weekend, right?
Oh, how'd that go? What caused it?
So I bought a shepherd's pie from a farmer's market like 3 weeks ago, and it was been in the freezer, and I decided to heat it up. And you know weird. What? I probed that motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Like so many different points and yada yada yada. It was all good. Yummed it all up, and then an hour later, cramps. Like
wow, an hour. Okay, that's fast.
And I was out.
That's disappointing because you freeze something, it's supposed to preserve it. I mean,
right?
I don't know what the shelf life of shepherd's pie is, but yeah, like I've frozen steaks for like months at a time, and then just thawed them and good as new.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I learned, you have to drink fluid. I had to drink water. And I can't drink water. It's so boring. So I got some
Gatorade. Pedialyte.
Gatorade. I did get some Gatorade, but I also like fruit juice. Fruit juice. You can get fruit juice. Fruit juice is not bad for you. So I've got some.
Sure. I mean, it's all sugar, but sure.
Cranberry juice.
Okay, I hate cranberry, but I get it.
I hadn't had cranberry juice. I just remember liking cranberry juice because I guess when I was younger, I used to drink vodka cranberry. So I was like, oh, I'll get some cranberry.
Well, it's got vodka in it. But...
Yeah, well, yes, vodka cranberry tends to have vodka in it. Yes, that's the secret sauce. But I hadn't tasted it for ages, and suddenly I just poured myself a glass of cranberry juice, and it's so fucking sweet. Even for me, I've got such a sweet tooth, but fuck me, that was ugh.
Yeah.
How bad is the juice got to be where you're like, I need to water this down with vodka so it's palatable?
I would definitely not describe it as sweet, but it is repelling. Like just and we have cran apple juice, and that's not you finally like are able to just tolerate it after a while. Like especially like, yeah, I definitely don't want flat water. And we don't have any 7-Up or ginger ale or whatever, and we're out of beer. I guess I'll have some cran apple juice, and after a few glasses, you're able to tolerate it. But I hate cran anything.
Sounds like the crazy old cat lady that lives down the street. Oh, don't disturb Mrs. Cranapple. Get off my yard! Oh, take the stick out your butt, Mrs. Cranapple.
Fucking Mrs. Crane.
What did you say, boy?
And then she throws a cat at you.
Throws a cat at you. There you go. That's how she always deals with her problems. How many cats has she got? She's always got another fucking cat.
All the fucking cats.
Anyway, shall we talk about some films?
Let's talk about some Kino. Cinema.
Action.
Cinescope.
It's now time for Kush to review a movie in a segment that we like to call Kush's Movie a Review.
Kush's Movie Review.
I feel like the statue when I hear that music.
Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse, animated sequel to the other Spider-Man something Spider-Verse movie, starring people.
These are all facts, Mike Fish. This is very good. I'm glad you did
I do
your
my
research.
I do my research.
You do your research.
I leave no stone unturned. I just
Outstanding.
don't look under them. I just turn them over. You know, I like to fuck shit up, rattle some cages. Anyway,
you're good at that.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Tell them about it, Kush. Is it good? Is it bad?
It's great. Actually, it's fucking great. We're talking about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, as you mentioned. It is the sequel to Sony's 2018 Oscar-winning picture for Best Animated Film, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Dude, shut your mouth. It is rated PG-13. It is 2 hours and 20 minutes long. Folks, if you've been watching the Waffle Box for any amount of time here, you know one of my major gripes is running time, length of time. How
that
much could we cut off
over
of
2 hours? You can go fuck yourself.
Last week's Little Mermaid, for some reason, was nearly an hour longer than its original predecessor from 1989. This movie is 5 minutes longer than that, and guess what? I left the theater thinking I had only been there for 100 minutes. Like, they throw a lot at you. They throw a lot at you. I never checked my watch. I checked my watch once. The opening of the film doesn't start with Miles Morales. It starts with Gwen Stacy, and it's pretty fascinating story, a fantastic story, I'd even say. And when we finally get to that title card that says Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I'm like, holy, wow, 20 minutes just went by. Holy shit! Like, this is a great movie. Is it better than the first film? We'll get into that in a little bit here. This is directed by 3 directors, which I'm not a fan of, but because it is, Joaquin, Kemp, and Justin are the directors of this. You don't get your last names, gentlemen, because there are 3 of you, and we're trying to save time here. It's written by 3 other dudes named Phil, Chris, and Dave, and it stars
what a guy.
Moore returns as Miles Morales, aka Spider-Man. Haley Steinfeld returns as Gwen Stacy, aka Spider-Woman, aka Spider-Gwen. Oscar Isaac is here as Miguel Herrera, or Spider-Man 2099. You know anything about the Spider-Man 2099?
Is it set in 2099?
That is your correct guess, yes.
Nailed it.
In the early 90s, Marvel tried to do this whole future timeline where like they had like 5 or 6 titles with 2099. I want to say like Iron Man was a part of it, but anyways, Spider-Man 2099. And I just went like, I don't know how I feel about this. Anyways, we never got into it, so I don't know anything about it other than that. However, Oscar winner Daniel Kaluuya comes in as Hobie Brown. He plays Spider-Punk and is actually he might be the best thing in this film. He's every scene he's in, you fucking love him. And then Jason Schwartzman plays the motherfucking Spot. It's he starts off as a wimp, he starts off as a joke, but then like the stronger he gets, the stronger his powers get, and the more devious he gets, and you're like, holy shit, this guy is fucking terrifying. Like, this is an amazing film. So is it better than the first movie? You know what? No, it's not better than the first Spider-Man movie. However, it is goddamn great still. I'm going to emphasize that, Mike Fish, every time. This is a great movie. What I don't like about it is we're left with a cliffhanger, which seems to be a trend this year with movies. It's not setting up for a sequel, it's a full stop. Come back in 1 to 3 years and we'll show you the rest of this story. I'm really getting tired of that. It was why I gave Fast X the review I gave it. Guess what? We have to endure this with Mission Impossible 7 in a few weeks. And that's going to be Mission Impossible 7 Part 1. Now, as I mentioned, the previous movie from 2018 won the Academy Award for Best Animated Film. So obviously there was going to be a sequel, and I think I knew there was going to be 3 of these, but I figured they would just be 3 separate movies. So the fact that we're getting a Spider-Verse 3, not surprising, but I really hate that we didn't. This should have been its own story. This should be a self-contained thing, or at least end better. What I mean by that, this is getting a lot of comparisons to The Empire Strikes Back, which is, by the way, a popular comparison for any sequel where a trilogy has a good run. This is not The Empire Strikes Back. It has some dark moments, has some terrifying moments, has a lot of interesting moments and captivating moments, and moments where I was just on my seat like this, watching my giant RPX screen. But unlike The Empire Strikes Back, this is a full stop. Come back in 1 to 3 years, and we'll tell you how the rest of this shit ends. In The Empire Strikes Back, sure, Han Solo gets kidnapped by Boba Fett. That's the biggest problem. Like, Luke Skywalker still has a fight with Darth Vader and survives. Sure, he loses his hand, but he survived. The Millennium Falcon and Billy D. Williams and Carrie Fisher, they get away from the Empire, and everything is wrapped up. Like, if Return of the Jedi never happened, you'd be like, oh, I guess we're never going to hear from Han Solo again. I don't know. Like, I like him, but whatever. It happens. This is a full stop. This is a to be continued. And I mean, Back to the Future 2 didn't even do that. Like, there was a full movie here, and if we didn't get a Back to the Future 3, we're like, oh shit, Marty McFly is stuck in 1955. What are you gonna do? However, that's my biggest complaint about it, dude. Like, already, as I said, this movie was over an hour longer than I thought it was. Like, I literally, I enjoyed myself the entire time. It gets crazy. This is the multiverse, which I'm getting tired of the multiverse. However, the folks who did this did a great job with it. When we get to multiverse, it's literally different animation styles conflicting and contrasting with each other. If you had a problem with the 2018 Spider-Verse and its animation style, I don't think you're going to enjoy this one either. I think they improve on the effects, but they make them different. They make them sharper. They make them more versatile. At one point, Spider-Punk is literally just disassembled flyers as a punk rock flyer would be. Okay, like he's not a traditional animated character. We see the Vulture at one point. He is literally just like mahogany and paper mache. But he's going up against computer animation and watercolors. At some point, Lego Spider-Man pops up in this thing. Like, sorry to spoil that, but fuck it. It's 5 minutes. Deal with it. It's not the movie. I had a great time with this. I am looking forward to Spider-Verse 3. I just wish this Spider-Verse 2 was its own story. Oscar Isaac as Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. He's a great antagonist. I wish we got more of the Spot, but guess what? We're going to get a lot more of the Spot in Spider-Verse 3. Mike Fish, before I give my final rating, any questions from you?
Was Tom Holland in it?
Yes-ish. Yes-ish.
That's what I wondered if they brought in any of the live action Spider-Mans in it.
Based on that yes-ish, Toby and Andrew are also there.
Ooh. How are they? I mean, I know you're talking about like different animation styles. Are they like animated to make it look like it's them, or is it just you can? Oh, that's their voice.
They literally just took a scene from one particular movie, pick a movie that any of those three were in, between the 8 movies they were in, and it's literally just a background clip. Like every Spider-Man has had some sort of moment where he faced tragedy, and that's where he became Spider-Man. And so you'll see just like these still frames, and you'll see something from a comic book, you'll see something from a cartoon, you'll see something from one of the main 3 movies. That's what I'm talking about. Like the Ninja Turtles did this already. The multiverse is not a new thing that Marvel has created and Sony has piggybacked on. Excuse me. So it's when I say Toby and Andrew and the other boy, they're technically in it, but they're not part of it.
So it's archive footage, basically.
Thank you. Yes.
That's all my questions.
That's all your questions. All right. I sincerely enjoyed this. I want to go see it again when it is available to purchase on my Apple TV. I am going to purchase it, no questions asked, probably at $20. $25? Maybe not. However, again, I hate the stop cliffhanger ending. I wish they could have done better with that, but it is what it is. So I'm giving this a very strong 4 out of 5. Like again, my biggest complaint in 100 episodes here, time length. Didn't feel a minute of it.
And that's the best type of movie. I do love those.
Yeah, man. So I dare you not to
oh,
like
it's
this
over
movie.
already? What the fuck?
I said that. Yeah. I dare you not to like this film. Will it get nominated for Best Animated Film? Yes, I absolutely think so. Again, they improved on the animations from the previous one. Like it's still the same style. It's also got different styles. Everything is sharper. There's a bigger budget. Will it get Best Picture as a nomination? No. Settle down, Canadians. This is not going to get a Best Picture, but I believe it will get Best Animated Film. I believe it will win Best Animated Film again. 2 for 2.
Boom. It's predicting that June 7th, 2023. You heard it first.
We have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon coming out, I want to say in July, and they are trying to use all the animation style from that 2018 film. But
into
this
the
new one is
Turtleverse.
Again, they've done that already. No reason they can't do it again. Yeah, it is what it is. So next week, Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. We will not be reviewing.
Thank fuck for that.
Because I don't give a shit about the Transformers films. I liked Bumblebee. I've not been interested in anything else. We will be reviewing Hulu Originals Flaming Hot, which is the industrial story of how the Flaming Hot Cheeto was created. It is should be pretty cool.
Color me interested.
I invite you to be a part of that review, Mike.
Well, now it's on Hulu. I shall definitely check that out. And
comes out this Friday.
Scouts on. So there you go. Flaming Hot next week. But Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse. What was his final score?
Incredibly strong 4 out of 5.
Check it out. But it's now time to wrap things up. By the way, just full stop endings.
That's dumb.
I mean, I know Warner Brothers has made this a habit. They did that with Twilight. They did that with Harry Potter. I think they even did. Whoever did the Hunger Games did that. Knock this shit off, guys. It takes way too long to make a movie. Like I know Marvel did it with Infinity War, and then we got Endgame a year later. But I can't see us getting Spider-Verse 3 next summer.
Did Marvel do Infinity Wars? Was it really that?
And Infinity War was well. So yes, actually, thank you for correcting me. Infinity War actually had its own ending. Okay, we lose. Humanity loses.
Yeah.
Life loses. Okay, and if we never got an end game, that would have been that movie. Thanos won. That was that story.
I think it just seemed like a full stop ending because it was so like out of the blue. Like, wait, there's no happy ending. What the fuck?
We don't need a happy ending, but you are correct, man. Infinity War had an ending, at least. This leaves literally on a cliffhanger where our champion is in peril.
Fuck that.
So I'm not going to tell you how he's in peril, but guess what? He's in peril.
Nipple clamps. That'll be it.
That's that.
You never get a stranger tie you up. They will mug you and leave you.
Facts. Hashtag facts. Waffle Box facts.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Right, let's wrap this up with this week's Feel Good Story of the week.
It's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. It's insane. Can I hear it again?
Yes. This week's Feel Good Story is a short one, but it's a nice one. That's what he said. For 4 years, Grace Mariani. He's talking about his penis. It's short, but it's good. It's a penis joke.
It's not. You do your thing.
Yeah, that's what she said. Anyway, so for 4 years, Grace Mariani attended every class with her 6-year-old service dog, Justin, at Seton Hall University in New Jersey. And when she received her diploma in May, Justin got one as well. As soon as Seton Hall president Joseph Nair handed him his rolled-up diploma during the graduation ceremony, Justin put it in his mouth to the delight of the crowd. Seton Hall said Mariani graduated magna cum laude with her bachelor's degree in education and hopes to become an elementary school teacher. Isn't that adorable? A service dog has a diploma.
Honestly, I think it's too cute. It's one of those things.
It's adorable.
You just know that some poor bastard is going to get turned down for a job because of this. Sorry, Sean. Your resume is very impressive, but this dog has a bachelor's degree from Seton Hall. So I think we're going to go in that direction.
I agree with Lathan's sarcasm there. Yeah. It's fine.
Hey, we got a new employee.
It's cute for the ceremony. It's better than someone flashing everybody with the open robe. But yeah, this stuff doesn't move the needle for me. So it's not a negative story, but it's not the one I usually applaud and go, that's a good story, man.
Kush hates dogs. You heard it here first.
Just the facts, ma'am.
I don't hate dogs, but I actually hate dog owners more than I hate dogs. You seem to be a cool dog owner, so I appreciate you. You've even announced on the Waffle Box, like, yeah, man, took the dog for a walk, and then he had to poop, so I picked up the poop, but then I wasn't paying attention, and I dropped the bag of poop, and I didn't realize it till I got home, so I went back out, and I picked up the bag of poop. I'm like, all right. I sincerely appreciate that. You definitely didn't have to do that, but I
was
appreciate
actually funny enough, I was thinking about that day today.
Really? Oh man,
I
we're
remember,
on like Twin
I
minds.
know, right? So the funny thing about that day was it was incredibly fucking hot, and I live on a steep hill, and I just thought, hey, I'll just run out and find the poop. It took me so long, but literally by the time I got home, because I did a long walk with the dog, and then I had thankfully I dropped the dog poop literally at the halfway point of the walk, so it was like I basically had to do the whole walk again on my own. I was so, when you're like, I'm so hot and I haven't drank anything.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And I just started feeling, when that dizziness starts coming. It was horrible. It's a horrible fucking day. And look at me, I'm skin and bones. I need to be hydrated all the time. Otherwise, I might die and be, and the ejector seat will go off, and I'll be launched into my neighbor's front room. Anyway.
Not dead yet.
That wraps up another episode of Waffle Box, episode 101. It's been a clusterfuck, but a fun clusterfuck, I think. A very successful clusterfuck, one I've enjoyed recording.
I wouldn't call it a clusterfuck, but a good time. Number 101 did not disappoint for Kush Hayes.
Stars mean to go on, as they say. Kush, are you releasing any new content on your podcast feed this week?
I am hoping to have a brand new Waffle Box.
No, this is Waffle Box.
It will be a new have Waffle Box on the Bosnet too. I am hoping to have a brand new microdose this week. Worst case scenario, next week we'll have a new Waffle Box. That is a guarantee.
Microdose.
Worst case scenario, next week, microdose. However,
but there definitely will be a new Waffle Box next week.
Thank God. Thank God for that.
Beautiful. So yeah, check that out. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that bullshit. Just like microdose Bosnet.
Bosnet.family.
Bosnet.family. But that wraps it all up. Make sure you follow all the socials at WaffleBoxPod. Go to enjoywafflebox.com for all the links that you need to know. It's a good night from me. It's a good night from Kush. Good night, Lathan.
Good night, everyone. And remember, as Winston Churchill once said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. So yeah, I guess we'll be back next week to beat this dead horse.
And on that note...
I liked everything but the dead horse part. Shit.
I appreciated it. Anyway, until next week, take care of yourselves and each other.
That's all, folks.